Hey y'all, I'm Amanda. This is the Southern Knits in the Mitt podcast, and I am coming to you from Traverse City, Michigan. And I hear you. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to put it all. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. I am Southern. I am not from Michigan. This is not my home state. I am originally from Alabama, born and raised. I've lived in the South all of my life. My late husband was from Michigan, and we had the opportunity to come back up here about 1.5 years ago. And so we jumped and made the move. We have grown children at home, and so we decided to come up here and do something for us. I had a job opportunity come open, and so we made the move up here. So in real life, I am a neonatal nurse practitioner. I have been in the nursing field for over 15 years and went back to school late in life. I was a stay-at-home mom for a good while until my boys were in school, and went back to school late in life and just kept on going, and this is where I've ended up. So anybody out there, it's never too late to get started. Let's see, I'm a maker. I like to do all kinds of crafts. I like to paper craft. I've got a lot of scrapbooking kind of stuff and journaling kind of stuff. I like to sew, and I like to knit and crochet. I started out my career in fiber as a crocheter. My mom taught me to crochet when I was about 5 years old, which is, a feat in of itself, because how many 5-year-olds do you know that would even sit down and attempt to learn to crochet, much less really pick it up? And even more so on her part, what's just much more amazing is that I'm left-handed, and she's not. And so teaching a left-handed child to crochet, she's got the patience of Job. Let's just call it what it is, right? And then about 15 years ago, she taught me to knit, and I have really loved knitting. I love the look of the fabric that I get with knitting. Is really my go-to when it comes to fiber things. And I always knit like hats or scarves or mitts or things like that. And then when I came up here, I really got into knitting. I just kind of started branching out and doing things I've never done before. I did my first pair of socks when I came up here because it's cold, y'all, and my feet are cold, and so I needed something. And I found out that I love knitting socks. It's like one of my favorite things to knit. I did a cardigan. That was my first piece of clothing to do, and it's snowing again. That seems to be the norm here in the winter in the great wilds of northern Michigan. There we go, huh? So anyway, I love to really knit good squishy warm things, and so that's kind of like what I'm into as far as knitting. I made myself some notes, and so I want to make sure that I don't get off track. I want to thank everybody for just dropping by and giving me the chance to sit and visit with you and talk for a little bit and kind of talk about what I like to do. And I'm really hoping that through this podcast that I'll be able to really engage with the knitting community and the people out there. This is kind of going to be I think a therapeutic thing for me. I've been wanting to do a podcast probably for about 6 to 9 months, and my husband was very encouraging and wanted me to do it. And then COVID hit, and he got sick and eventually passed away. And so I really haven't had the time or the desire to just get out there and do it. And so lately I've finally decided, I've gotten myself together, and I've decided to get out there and put myself out there. So like I said, I think this is going to be like a therapy for me, and we'll just share these knitting adventures together, right? So I think starting out, I'm not going to do finished objects right away because y'all don't know me, and we really haven't established anything like that yet, really. I'll just kind of show things as we go of things that I've completed lately. So I guess we'll get started with the knitting stuff. What I want to do, so I want to know, do y'all, and you can comment down below, have you made goals for the year for knitting? Because that's not anything that I've ever done, but I was sitting down last night and reflecting on the things that I've knit over the last year, and I knit a lot. I gave away a lot. Just about everything I knit, I gave away. I only kept a few things. But I knit a lot, and so one of the goals that I had for this year for knitting is that I want to knit a pair of socks every month, which is I think that's doable for me. I may be able to do too, because I'm a pretty fast knitter and I love doing socks, and so that's something that I want to try and do. And then I want to knit 3 sweaters. I've got 3 sweaters in my queue that are calling my name, and so this podcast journey has really opened up a lot of opportunity for me, because I didn't even bring my phone in here so I can show you, but watching podcasts, y'all, I have a list a mile long of knits that I want to do, because every time someone shows something, I'm like, ooh, I want to do that, or ooh, I want to do that. And so I just started making a list, and how am I going to do all this? It's going to take me forever to knit all these things, but I'm going to try. So anyway, okay, so we'll just kind of start with what I'm wearing and what's here. So this right here, this is Pearl. She is my mannequin, and I'm not going to touch her because she's a little bit janky, and if I touch her, she might fall over. So she's wearing, this is just like a little shawl that I knit. It's out of some acrylic yarn from Hobby Lobby. It is this Roll With It, and I don't know the colorway of that one, but in this, there is this shawl. This shawl pattern is on the inside of this label, and so that's what I knit, and I love the colors in it, and it's super warm and squishy, and I like to wear it to shovel snow, because if it gets dirty and gets nasty, I can just throw it in the washing machine and it won't hurt my feelings if something happens to it, right? And then this is, y'all, my microphone. I've got a microphone because I'm trying to be all professional, right? And it's a corded one, and it's attached to my iPad, so be prepared, because there's probably going to be a catastrophe. I'm probably going to knock stuff over and yank stuff out of the thing and all that. So we'll see. This is the, what is this? The Find Your Fade shawl by Andrea Mowry. And this is so this was a kit from a dyer called Cornbread and Honey. And it had, I think, 7 full skeins of yarn in it. And this colorway was called Autumn Fire was the name of it. And I'm not really a huge blue fan, but this blue is so pretty, that dark blue with that orange. And I just thought this was so gorgeous. And so this was a super easy knit. It's a great one for a beginner if you've got time to put into it. It's huge, and so it took me a long time, and I knit 2 of them, because this kit, I was able to get a second one doing the colors, the reverse, from how the pattern was written. And so I knit one for my mama, my sweet mama in Alabama. So she's got one, and we kind of match, and I love it, and it's so warm and so squishy. I was sitting here the other day, and I just kind of got chilled and grabbed it and wrapped it around me, and just within seconds just got so warm and cozy in it. So good wool yarn makes a huge difference in how warm these things keep you. So that's kind of like the new, not really new, but finished things that I have that I'm going to share with you today. And so I guess we'll look at my whips. So I used to only be a monogamous knitter. I could not, it gave me terrible anxiety to have more than one thing on the needles. But now, because I want to knit everything, I have a ton of things on the needles. So I always keep a pair of socks, because to me, socks are like mindless knitting and super easy. And that's like my go-to when I'm tired, or when I just want to keep my hands busy, and I will get in there and do some socks. And so I do, so I've tried the 2 at a time on the same needle, and I cannot do it. I do magic loop. I use a 2.25 millimeter needle. I love the ChowGoo needles. That's my go-to. And so, but I do 2 at a time, just not on the same needle. I found that I do have second sock syndrome terribly. I'll get one done and feel like, oh, I don't even want to think about that second one. And then I also found that my gauge was different with my second one sometimes. So sometimes it'd be tighter or looser. And so I decided to start trying 2 socks at a time on 2 separate needles, and that seems to work for me. And I feel like it goes faster, but it really doesn't, right? It's just all in my head. So these are Chalgoose bamboo needles. I got these because, like I said, I'm from Alabama, so that's where all my family is, and so I travel a lot, and I can take these on the plane. And my metal needles, I'm afraid they're going to cut them or take them away from me, and I've got money invested in them, and I don't want to do that. So these are just, when I do socks, I usually do toe up. That was not my preferred method when I first started. I always liked cuff down because I didn't really like the stretchy bind off for the cuff. And so it just depends. It depends on the yarn that I'm using, whether I do toe up or cuff down. So these are, I'm doing toe up, and these are just, this is Felici. Be on the wall. Felici sock yarn. So Knit Picks had all their Felici on sale not long ago, like really cheap. And so I ordered a crap ton of it. Like I need more, right? And so those are going to be probably my January socks. And they should be done pretty soon. And so I do toe up. I do a Fish Lips Kiss heel. And then I found that I really like a 1x1 rib for my cuff. And so that's kind of what I do. And if I do a ribbing. Now some of the yarn, I've got some other yarn over here that I'm going to show you in just a second that I don't like to do a ribbing at all. I just like let it roll. I just do a knit, and then bind off. And then it just kind of, rolls down. So this, y'all, I didn't know this cult following with project bags. And of course I want all of them. And so these are in my, y'all, he's so cute. Hold on, let me get it straight. These are in my, my fat woodpecker bag. And so this is Wuthering Sheep. This is her, but look at him. So she has some, they're all different kinds of birds. She's got a flamingo, a fat flamingo that I want so bad because it's so stinking cute. But isn't that cute? And it's just a drawstring bag, and it has, it's like 2-sided, and then there's a little zipper compartment right there in the middle, if you can't see it. And my Tic Tac box for my stitch markers. Because we are highfalutin over here, right? Okay, so my other socks that I have, I just wanted to get these on the needles because I just love this yarn. And I'm a tangled hot mess right here. So these will, and I just do a plain vanilla sock. I just knit, that's what I like to do. And so that's what, that's how I do it. So this is Shirley Bryan yarn, and I don't know if you have ever knit with her yarn, but this is the dreamiest, most scrumptious yarn ever. And look, y'all, do y'all see that? It's a dinosaur, and it's knitting. Isn't that so cool? So this is her deconstructed fade sock, and she's had an update today, and I went on and ordered a ton of it. Like, again, I need more yarn, right? But this will fade the way she's got it. It comes in two 50-gram, let's see if I can find one that's all together. It comes in, it comes like this, and it's 2 50-gram skeins. Okay. And this one is Madam Mim. And I'm sure that, I don't know what that's for, but it's really pretty. So that's how her sock yarn comes. And so this one is called, this colorway is called Herding Cats because this is about what it would be like trying to herd cats. You'd be scratched up and bleeding everywhere, right? So, but I love this yarn. It is so dreamy and so amazing. And I think I may have enough of it to do a pair of socks a month for the year. So we'll see. We'll see what we get out of that. But I have 2 finished pairs of socks in this yarn. And I love them. They're so warm and so squishy. And but I do not do a ribbed cuff on them. And then this is in Quilt Knit Craft. That's that little bag. Look at those cute little sheep. Aren't they so cute? So that's that. So my next whip. So I have a whip that I won't be able to show you today because it's not here. So I just recently went home. I've had family staying with me off and on since my husband passed away because they don't trust me to be by myself. Not true, but they just want to be here to support me, which I so appreciate. So when I went home, I started this shawl, but it was on my Chalgo needles that are metal, and I did not want to risk coming on the plane with it, and so I just mailed it, and it hasn't come back to me. So next time I'll show you that one. It's a gorgeous shawl. It's the Noah shawl. It's a scrappy shawl that Knitting McPurley and I can't remember the other person's name that did it for Christmas Advents. So to use your Christmas Advent calendar, yarn calendar things with, and it's 25, I think, 20 gram minis and or scraps or whatever, and it is gorgeous. And so I'm really excited about it. And I'm almost done with it. So really you may see it as a finished object. So this is the Free Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. And this shawl pattern, I knit this probably 8 times last year because this is what I gave as gifts for co-workers at Christmas. And so this is, I just started, this one is mine. I didn't keep one for myself, y'all. Why would I do that? Because I really love this shawl and it's really pretty. And so this is going to be, and I'm sorry for the crinkle, but it'll just be for a second, okay? So this, I'm using this mini set from Hugh Loco, this Color Riot mini set. I don't know if you've ever seen any of her Color Riot mini sets, but they're amazing. And it's 10 20 gram minis. And this is just like a fade of colors, and I just use this to fade that whole shawl. And that's what I did for my coworkers for Christmas, and they are just gorgeous. So I had seen this one and ordered it for myself, and I just haven't had the chance to do it yet, to use it. So that is going to be my shawl, and I'm really going to keep it. So, and then my final whip, y'all, okay. So I really like Andrea Mowry's patterns, and so I saw her night shift shawl, and I thought, I love that. I want to do it. And then I saw the cowl, the shift cowl, and I thought, so I love a shawl around my neck, but it kind of gets bulky under my coat, so I thought, I'll try a cowl. So I started the shift cowl, and I think I hate it. I don't hate, it's not the pattern. It's not the pattern. The pattern is written beautifully. It is super simple. It is super easy to follow. It's just a tedious knit. And so, like, I feel like I've been knitting on this for months. This is as far as I've gotten. I maybe can wear this next winter with my coat, right? And historically, I'm a super tight knitter. And so I know that this is tight, and I know it's going to relax a lot after I block it. But I like this dense fabric because it's so cold here that I'll use it. And I don't want it to be too big. And so I think it'll do good. So this yarn is all Malabrigo. And let's see, do I have all my ball bands? So it's this Arroyo. And I couldn't tell you my colorways. Let's see if I have them all right here in this bag. So one of them is Talisman. I have a purple, and I have a blue, and I have a brown. The other one is regatta blue, and then the other one is coffee. So there are those, and they are wound. They are wound up. I can't find my purple ball of it. They're wound up because I wasn't at home and wasn't able to skein them on my Swift. But that's my colors for that. And I love the pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's just very tedious, and it's like slipping stitches just about every row, but it's a beautiful pattern. It is a beautiful pattern, and I'm gonna love it when I'm done. But it's gonna take me a while. That's all. It's gonna take me a while, right? So that's kind of all I've got on the needles right now, and yeah. So there we go. That's all of that. That's all of my big knitting that's on my needles right now. I've got some dream knits that I'll show you. These will be my next projects that I put on the needles. And so that's not it. I'll get it together one day. So I want to do the Fireside Pullover. That's the sweater I want to do because I like this big shawl collar. I just feel like that would be so warm and cozy for up here. And so this, their recommendation is to use the Cascade Eco Wool, which I think I'm going to try. I don't love real earthy feeling wools, but I'm going to try it because I know it'll be warm up here. And so I've kind of read through the pattern. It's a little bit. It's going to take me a minute. I feel like I can do it. I don't feel like it's going to be hard for me. It's just going to take me some time to work through it. And I feel like I'll be able to do that. I can do it. I may be crying on here one day with it. And then the other one, my next shawl that I'll put on the needles is this Rhubarb Pie. So I bought a kit from Midnight Cravings. They had kits on their website, and the one that I bought, one of them was like, this part was a blue and this part was a pink, and then the other one, this was like a brownie color and toffee color, and this was a pink, and so that's the one I got. And so I got that yarn in the other day, but I have right now like 2 shawls and a cowl on the needle, so I'm not gonna let myself cast on another one. I have the yarn to do it, but I'm not gonna do that yet. So there we go. So that's kind of it. That's kind of all my knitting right now. I want to kind of, just get to know everybody and see what everybody's doing, and kind of see how this all pans out. One of the things that I wanted to kind of touch base on and talk about is my word of the year. And I don't know, do any of y'all do that? Do you do a word of the year? So I've done that for about 3 years now. Just a word that has just kind of meant something to me, and I'll get in the Bible and kind of search out, scripture that support that word. And so last year, my word of the year was courage, because, I was up here 1,000 miles from my family in a new job and a new environment and a whole new culture, in my mind. And I didn't realize how much that word was going to be tested over this last year. So courage was my word of the year last year. And so I think that the word that God's just laying on my heart right now is trust. So just trying to just lean into Him and trust His plan. I'm not a fan of it right now. I did not expect to be here without my husband and doing this new path by myself. So we will just see where it leads, right? I have to trust the plan. I don't really have a choice, do I? So if y'all have a word of the year, I'd like to hear what yours is and what you do and how you keep that at the forefront in your mind and what you do with it. So that's basically it. I don't know. We'll just see where this leads. I appreciate you coming by, and I'm hoping to see you again. So if you'll just give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And I don't know how often I'm going to do this. I'm not going to be able to do it every week. Probably every 2 weeks will be my goal. There's no way I could get enough knitting done to do it every week, but I may be able to get enough done every 2 weeks. So we'll see where that goes. And we have some guest stars on here because my sweet mama will come, and I've got good coworker friends who are knitters and makers. So we will just see where this leads. So thanks for coming by, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye, y'all.